Howdy peeps, welcome to another Sunday, another live stream. Even worse hair. It's the way it is, I'm afraid. Hairdressers are still shut in the UK, so yeah, we have full-on Rona rug going on. Say hello to whoever's here first. So, hey Sean, how are you? Good to see you here. And hello Ken from Danny Ken Aquatics. Hello you too. As you possibly saw from the thumbnail, and maybe if you, like Sean, saw my video this week, got the tank set ready for the shell dwellers when I can find some. Hey Rich, how you doing, buddy? That was the main thing that happened this week, getting that set up. No, nothing's on fire. That is just me. Although given the weather this week, I wouldn't have been surprised if things had been on fire. Hey Big J, how you going? So yes, news from the fisherman this week is literally pretty much just that I got that sorted. And given how the weather's been in the UK, or this part of the UK this week, I'm quite surprised I managed to get that much. Hey Connor, long time no see. Welcome aboard. Oh, good, not good, Rich. Yeah, I hope it all goes well for you, buddy. And you finally get some relief and things sorted out. It's got home about to crash out in a few. Yeah, I know that time. Hello, Better with Time. Welcome aboard. I think it's the first time I've seen you here. Good to have new faces at any time. All welcome. So yes, that's pretty much it. Although I did spend about 2.5 hours trying to catch the butterfly cichlid out of there, which when it swims past you'll see I failed. Hi Dan, how you doing? Yeah, I'm basically going to have to drain the tank virtually all the way down to catch that fish, because it's yeah, rather speedy, strong, and good at hiding. The two that are in the shell dweller tank, they were relatively easy to catch, and they'll be easy to catch again. So yeah, it's just the amount of plants, rocks, and all sorts in there that make it very difficult to catch fish that want to stay down the bottom. Hello Maple Street Aquatics, welcome aboard. And Jason Redfish Bluefish, welcome as well. Other side of Ponder, yes, it's a big pond. I wouldn't want to have to put the filter in it or clean the algae or any of the other stuff that pond people seem to do all the time. Is it just me, or do you look at a koi pond and you look down into it and you can see all the pristine clean liner and think, that don't look right? It might just be me. Yeah, bit bigger than my 150-gallon one in the back garden. Let's put it that way. Need more than a little filter to keep it clean. Brain healing up from the seagull attack. Yes. Yeah, no seagull attacks here, although there is a head injury. Not to me. You'll be unhappy to know. Poor little Zach the cat, the flu monster, he's managed to donk his head quite badly on something. He's got a big old cut, scrape, missing chunk more like on the top of his head, so he's needing extra fusses and luffs and treats, and he's a bit jumpy at the moment, so we shall see. Evening Aaron, how you doing? And nothing but rain. Yeah, we've had some rain. I'd say I can't remember what the US temperatures are, but it got to like 32 degrees here during last week. Temperatures dropped about 10 degrees yesterday, but then it rained and the humidity levels shot up to ludicrous levels. So today is the first sensible day. Happy 20th birthday, Connor. Sad for you that you're spending it with me, but no, thanks for being here. As we pull off the road where I live, tons of granite and basalt rocks everywhere. Free, yes. But the only rocks we got around here that you might find by the side of the road would be flint or possibly chalk. Well, I have no idea what happened to Zach, Dan. That's the thing. I'll have to ask his owners next door. My best bet. I mean, looking at it, it's not. He's been bitten or scratched by a cat or a rat or something. I think he's probably been asleep under a car and the car started up and he's jumped and whacked his head onto the car or caught the fan or something like that. Yeah, but Rich, what's the 40 degrees? No, I mean, anyway, no thanks. But what's the humidity? Our humidity yesterday was up to about 80%. Yeah, 30, say 29 humidity. Yeah. So the humidity is lower today. Temperature's lower. It's windy, so it's all good. But yeah, 3 rocks are the best rocks. Yeah, 35. That's doable. I could probably just about manage to sit around in my pants and not do anything. 40 and 35%. Unfortunately, I had to work in it. So the shop isn't too bad because that's air conditioned, except for the bit where the tills are, which is where if you're in the shop you're generally standing, which has the screens up which stop any airflow, and you got your back to the wall that's in the sun all day long. So it's like a radiator. And then you go out to the storeroom to restock the shelves, and that's basically it's a garage or garage. So yeah, that gets like an oven as well. Oh, Jason, that sounds absolutely perfect for me. That does 14 degrees. I can deal with that. That's shorts and t-shirt. Oh dear. Yeah, that happens. Things do tend to grow a bit rapidly if you're not careful. As far as I can tell, everything in my garden's going well. Sat at the window, modelling on the PC. Yeah, that is another reason I haven't been either in any of the hangouts or doing any modelling lately. Is when you're struggling for the mojo to do it, you don't then want to go and sit in a room that's at 30 odd degrees and cook or broil. I think would probably be more sensible. Still not sponsored. I'll try not to yawn tonight as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much got to get on camera. If I could, Jason, I would. It's one of the things I've said. If I ever win the lottery, get enough money, whatever, I would love to go to the States, spend however long it takes, and just literally probably hire an RV and just do a tour of the States and visit all the people I know, not just in the fish fam, modeling hobby as well. I could probably go from, I'll probably need a visa, but I could probably go all the way from Saskatchewan and Nova Scotia all the way down to New Mexico and Texas. I think I probably know someone in every state in between. Oh, that's not good, Maple Street. Yeah, no. I mean, you're welcome to keep that weather. Yeah, that's apocalyptic. That's just breathing in low pressure steam again. Not originally from South Texas. Yeah, it's just temperatures. It's just why it doesn't need to be that hot. I mean, yeah, I understand how temperature works and distance from the sun and all that stuff, but hey, give me somewhere that's about 16 degrees grey and drizzly all year round. I'll be happy. Dragonlair, how you doing, Patrick? Good to see you here. I hope you're all good this week. Yes, I think that might be part of the problem, Jason, is the roads in the US. So I would get very confused. I'd end up veering off the road just because I've been going that straight too long. There must be a corner. You know, and there are roads around here. They just put corners in for the sheer hell of having a corner, I swear. If any of you guys were to look up, as I've said it before, if you were to look up a street map of my town or closest city, Norwich, you'd be like, how the hell do you find your way around? Especially when you consider half the roads are one way or pedestrianised. Yeah. So we're fine on little country roads that wind around and have no signposts, but give us big, long, straight roads. We'd probably just get bored, to be honest. Although, if you're traveling from A to B and it is basically a straight line all the way and you're just doing whatever the speed limit is all the way, you'd probably get a lot further in the same amount of time than you would over here. Evening, Matthew Moore. Welcome aboard. Good to see you here. What up? 75. Oh, no. I'm saying that's the other problem I have is with the weather. When you get a sudden change from bright and dry to cooler and wet, is obviously the pressure changes and everything do affect. How can I put it? Some of my previous injuries. So bits of me start aching and hurting for no reason. It's just really annoying when it's your feet and you've got to be on them for 9 hours. When you wake up in the morning and your ankle hurts, and then you got to stand on it for all day. Yeah, it's not a good start to the day. But hey, thankfully the weather's improved, cooling down, it's getting wetter, so all good for me. So there's no new additions this week to the fish room. No deaths. Nothing bad to report. Now the 9 CPDs are all in together. They're getting on great together and just zooming about and acting like a school of fish. They're far more out and about and personable with the 9 in there rather than the 4. So fingers crossed we might get some babies in there. Thank you very much, Jason. More always appreciated, never required. I think I stole that from Fisher and Fever, or he might have stolen it from someone else. But any funding is always greatly appreciated. And I did actually get my email from Google this week to say my first payment from YouTube has gone into my bank account. Didn't say how much, so I'm guessing it's probably the minimum payment they'll send. So, hey, it's better than the kick in the teeth. I think you have to get £60 before you get your first payment. So, yay! That'll pay for something at least. So, yeah. Add that to the pot for saving up for Mega Flex, and pollen levels as well. Allergies, having problems with the throat at the moment. Ooh, pardon me. Yeah, more fish. Yeah, thing is, Matt, I'm going to need more tanks if I want more fish. That's the problem. The ones I've got at the moment keep multiplying. Some of you may remember I cleared out all the. Well, I thought I cleared out all the adult crebensis the other week, and I found one swimming about and was like, okay, fair enough, I missed one. That's doable. Well, this week when I was doing the water change, I found a second one. They're a pair. They're hiding in the coconut hut. It's like, oh God, I'm gonna have more crebensis now. They're gonna start breeding again. Yeah. Yeah, £60 threshold for the release fund. Yeah, I think it's $100 or £60, whichever it works out. Yeah, Aaron, don't earn any more. I'll push it up again. Then no one will get paid. Yes, one of those annoying things. The amount of people who like push to manage to get to 1,000 subscribers and then got the hours. The view time thing came in, and I was like, they were so close to getting monetized, and nothing. Yeah, it's. I'll say whether it's personalities, content, whatever, and even in the same genre, small niche, as us fish keepers are. I mean, some channels just take off and launch, grow dramatically, and some just like mine just trundle along gently. But I enjoy making the odd video and having a natter with you guys and girls online. As Joseph says, my fish club. There aren't any fish clubs around here, or not that I can get to. I think the nearest one's about an hour and a half away. And I get a funny feeling if it's anything like the model club that I used to go to, I probably wouldn't be very welcome anyway. You do YouTube? We don't do YouTube here. Yeah. Get out, you strange person. How dare you keep these fish? Yes. Yeah, I think I went to that model club about twice before I decided, it's like, no, this isn't for me. When you ask, as any of the modelers in here, oh, hey Spunky, how you doing? And I think Aaron's about the only modeler in here. But when you go and everyone's using humble enamels and future floor polish, yeah, it's time to leave. No weathering at all. Everything's like Airfix 172, perfectly clean. You turn up with someone that's weathered, actually looks realistic, and they go, oh, I don't like that. No crew chief, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'll probably do YouTube in the simplest way possible. I don't think there's a way of doing a YouTube channel and videos any simpler than the way I do it, which is just hit record, talk, stop, upload. Ooh, very pretty. Ooh, lovely. Odessa barbs. Yes, very nice. A garden statue. Yeah, statues are always cool. As long as this is not someone not one of them statues that people are taking down now for whatever reasons. Yeah, so this is it, Matt. I mean, there are a lot of us that do live streams now, and there are, I mean, all depends on when you work or don't work, or when you're awake or asleep. But yeah, there's a gap there for everyone. Yeah, we might occasionally overlap each other or be on at the same time. We try not to, just to be nice. But yeah, US supposedly demonetizing streams that people smoke on. Oh well. Perhaps I should start demonetizing the ones where people drink alcohol as well. And, you know, because I'm a former alcoholic, well, technically still alcoholic. You're never former. Do you think it's a really good idea to be advertising alcohol to an alcoholic? The amount of beer and spirit and God knows what adverts I get on when I'm watching. Evening, Kay. How are you? But yeah, we'll try to stay away from my views on smoking and drinking and things. Although, yeah, I will do the thing. Don't do it. It's bad for you. Long term, it can kill you. I know this. I'm stupid. I do it anyway. Hey, my view of it is, got to die of something, might as well be something I enjoy. But, yeah, each to their own, but yeah. It would be an interesting one to look into the amount of deaths caused by smoking and by alcohol. I think the numbers would probably be fairly similar. But hey, demonise gun channels and cannabis ones too, despite being legal in the state. Yeah. Well, it's just like if you watch, say, in-range callers completely demonetised it anyway. He had a very, very funny, well, I found it funny video he put up. I think it was today he put it up on in-range TV about someone approaching him to pay to advertise on his channel. Him, Ian at Forgotten Weapons, Athias with Sea and Arsenal. They're all struggling. I mean, they're fantastic channels. And they're historical channels. They're not going, guns are great. Yeah, look, bang, 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 bang. Yeah, guns are great. They're going through historical firearms or the history and the engineering and everything behind them. If you, as I do, generally, I just look at it as a machine. To me, a gun isn't very much different to a sewing machine. Oh, I know you weren't, Patrick. Yeah, I know you weren't having a go. And I shall be watching that one. Okay, I'll definitely be watching that back at some point. Yeah. So I do try and watch as many streams as I can, but times I'm working, times I'm asleep. Can't necessarily catch them live, so I do tend to watch a lot on the rerun. Try and remember to leave the old like and stuff. Try and be good, and I do watch the whole thing. Dan's going to die of Fish Costonia. You finally spent too much on your wife drowned you. Yes, yes. See, that's where A, not having a wife helps, and B, Mary is supportive of me and my hobbies. Let's put it that way. Hell, she buys me model kits for my birthday and Christmas, so I can't really complain. And I'm not going to be stupid and spend every penny I've got. And, I could afford to go out tomorrow and buy a Megaflex, stick it there, fill it up, put all the stuff in it, everything, not a problem. But I don't want to run out of money. I'm sensible. I set myself a budget. So there we go. Yes, we do have crossbows. Got CO2 powered crossbows. I need a license. Yeah. I had to get rid of my crossbow for the same reason. That was too powerful. Well, 180-pound draw weight on a compound crossbow is a bit ludicrous. But yeah, I sold that one. Don't have it anymore. Now, the only thing I've probably got that I would class as a home defense weapon is, well, I've got a 3-foot cavalry saber upstairs, so someone breaks in with a knife, they're going to be dead. Yeah, but Dan, you'd still have fishy smelling fingers. that's as far as I'm going with that one. No, I haven't got any smellies. No, I knew what you meant, Kate. I haven't yet. No. As I was looking last weekend, and found a place that sells the gold ocellatus and the brevis, but I'm gonna stick with waiting so I can get some multis, because they are the beginner shell dweller, let's put it that way. Probably the best suited for the tank that I've got. Thinking on it, if I can, I would probably go 1 male, 3 females. But I'm not sure how to sex them, so I would buy 4 and see what happened. I'm sure I'll be able to figure out after a while which ones are the boys and the girls. Yeah, I've got to be able to defend Zach as well, though, Dan. That's the thing. He might be my home defense weapon, but he needs, given the state of him at the moment, he needs some protecting as well. Yeah, I do the same, Aaron. It's like, again, I'll go with the cost of one of these things. Roma 200. Okay, I got mine cheap, which is why I got it when I did, a lot earlier than I was expecting to. But yes, I could have just afforded to go and buy it, but I'd rather save up for it. No, I know I've got that money put aside to buy that. And then when I do, my bank balance don't go thud. And then I go, oh crap, how am I going to pay the bills? That's kind of my thinking on it anyway. Just the way I've always been. If I want something, I save for it. I don't just splurge on it and then worry about how I'm going to pay for stuff for the next 3-6 months or whatever. But except for when I got made redundant and I spent a large amount of money in a short period of time. That was quite interesting. It was fun though. I got to know all the local delivery drivers very well. At one point I was having like 2 Amazon deliveries a day basically. Yes, I did manage to spend about £10,000 in 5 months on crap. But hey, I figured I deserved it. I've been working full-time since I was 18. What was that? 2, 3, was that 2016? Yeah, so I've been working a long time without any real break. Like a week's holiday kind of break, nothing more than that. And I was like, you know what, sod it, I deserve a break. Yeah, Rich remembers what I was up to at that point. Yeah, it was basically daily posts on ISM. Here's what turned up today. It was at the point where I was getting parcels turn up and I didn't know what was going to be in them until I opened them. Hey Steve, how are you? Good to be here. Yeah, it's a lesson I learned early on as well, Patrick. As some may be aware, probably most of you aren't. I moved in here 5 days before my 21st birthday, which is when my first mortgage payment came out. And yeah, I bought this house done. This is all me. I've not had any help from anyone else, and I've not had good paying jobs. It's saving up, being careful with the money, don't waste it. I mean, there's plenty of things I look at and go, oh, damn, that's cool, I want that. And then I'll sit there, I'll think about it and go, well, yeah, but do I really want it? Do I need it? Blah, 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 blah. And then after time, I end up either forgetting or not buying it. Hello, Cheryl, my lovely, how are you? Good to see you here. Hope you're all well and good. But yeah, at that point I was having, I don't know, 4 or 5 model kits turn up a week, and then paints and all sorts of other stuff. But hey, I was out of work, not looking for work, because I had too much money to be able to sign on. So yeah, I basically had to spend all my money before I could get money. How does that work? But yeah, that's what I did. And during that period is when I met Mary, so that was even better. Not been awake long, bless you. Well, technically I probably haven't either, so had a good long nap earlier. And it's about to rain, so if the birdies stop singing, you'll know why. And if it rains as heavy as it did earlier, you'll hear it hammering on the back doors, and I'll be jumping up to close the door before I get it all blowing in. Me and fish shops and at reptile show. Oh, on that one, yeah. That is one of the first things I forced myself to learn about the fish hobby. Is if I see a fish I like, research it. Don't buy it and then research it. Come home, do my research. If it's still a fish I want, then get it next week. Don't just go and go, that one's shiny, I want that one, and then try and figure out where the hell to put it. Let's be honest, all of us fish keepers have all done it. We've all gone into a fish, we've all gone in and gone, ooh, shiny, purdy, me want, and then, yeah, it doesn't usually end well. But yeah, I'll say is that you talk yourself out of it. If it's something you're really going to want, then, oh, good question, Rich. How many Neils or Cardinals can you put in a 55? Personally speaking, I'd probably go with about 100, but that's me. I've heard arguments in both directions where some say, yeah, you can loads and loads, they're fine because they're very low bioload fish. They don't exactly eat a lot or poop a lot, and especially it'll be planted as well, which is what they want. Yeah, 150 might be pushing it, but I mean, personally, I would have gone about 100, but gradually build up the stock rather than buy 100 of them and throw them in there. Um, yeah, I say I've heard other people say you can't put that many in there because they need X amount of swimming space. But yeah, as Dan saying about 100, 150. Oh no, I heard someone the other day say month, whenever. Someone was asking the same, but about a 29 gallon. They were told like 15. It's like, really? That's going to be empty. Oh yeah. I'm going to say your cat watches the rain. I mean, Zach will sit on the shed roof and watch the thunderstorm. It's only if it gets real close he comes running in. Yeah, but you know you've got somewhere you can put them, Patrick. It's not like you're going, I've got this bag of fish now, where the hell do I put them? You've got tanks they can go in, and you know what they need, how big they get, what fish you've got they can live with, what ones they can't live with, what parameters they, you know all that stuff. Whereas me, as a newcomer, I don't know all that stuff. Um, if I had several times, if I hadn't looked things up, I could have bought some really silly fish. Oh yeah. Zach loves his towel downs. He didn't at first. First time he didn't quite know what it was and wasn't too happy about it. Then he realised it was just like having a fuss that dried him out, and he kind of likes it now. He comes wandering up to me all sopping wet, meows at me for a toweling. Um, yeah, this is it. If the filters can keep up, you're fine. Like, it sits at the door. Didn't realise when it rains at the front door, it rains at the back. You say that, Aaron, though. I mean, I've had that happen where it's been raining out the front, not out the back. But where I used to live in Deetham, the top road between Deetham and Morley is at the top of I say a hill. It's basically a valley either side. And you'll get, it's like a weather line. One side of the road, it will be peeing down rain, cloudy, horrible. The other side of the road, it'll be dry and sunny. It's like there's a break there, like a ley line or something that stops the weather. Yeah, and one of the great things about sitting there fishing when it's going to rain or storm, and you can see it coming across the fields towards you. You just see the line of wet advancing, and you just, how late can I leave it till I put the brolly up? Especially if you're facing the way you can see it, and the other people are sitting facing towards you and they don't see it, and you just put your brolly up and sit there, and they're like, "Why does he put his brolly up?" And then they get soaked. Yeah. So if you're gradually up in the numbers of the fish as well, which is no one really wants to go and buy 100 neon cardinals or neons or cardinals at the same time. You would buy 10 or so at a time every couple of weeks or every week. It would, yeah, bacteria levels would just keep up and everything would be groovy. 20 long, one pair of some rainbows, plenty of room. Yeah, that'd be fine in there. Yes, Patrick, got I hear the sparrows, blackbirds, chaffinch. I think that's about it in the back garden at the moment. Yeah, there's all sorts out there, Cheryl. Which tells me that either Zach's asleep out there or there's no other cats around. Hey, there's a Funky Funk. How you doing, Aqua Funk? Good to see you, my friend. You funky freak, you. But yeah, we've got, yeah, I think that's the sparrow at the moment, tweetering away. I think it's actually a baby, or a fledgling, I should say. Yeah, I mean, as I say, there's a lot said about filters, biological capacity, all that. Simple thing is, everything in your tank will support biological beneficial bacteria. The substrate, the rocks, the plants, the glass, the pipes to and from the filter, the sponge, the biomede, everything in there will support bacteria if it needs bacteria. The bacteria multiply according to the size of the colony of the fish and the load that is produced. Obviously, there comes a tipping point where there's just so much waste being produced that bacteria just can't cope with it. But you know, that tipping point is probably a lot higher than a lot of people think. I mean, there is, let's be honest, there is minimal filtration in there, and there's a lot of fish in there. Well, there aren't really at the moment, but you know, there's plenty of fish in there, and I don't have any issues at all with the water. Actually, this week when I did the big water change in there, the water I took out was lower in nitrates than it was when I put it in there. So, you know, what does that tell you? You're putting in water at 80, at 60 to 80 on the nitrate reading, and you're pulling it out at 20 to 40. And that tells me that the plants have been munching a lot of nitrates, or I've got anoxic, anaerobic, whatever bacteria filling up the substrate nicely. Have I offloaded any more plex? Not yet, Kay. They're not quite big enough yet. They're getting there, though. I mean, the amount they're eating, they should be growing fairly rapidly. Yeah, I think I'm going to give up on buying courgettes and just start buying them marrows. Might last a bit longer. At the moment, I'm going through 2 to 3 large courgettes a week, just feeding baby plecos. So I think they eat more than I do, to be honest. Yeah, 58, that is super soft water. Yeah, pretty much perfect for your plants as well, especially the Venus flytrap. Yeah, mine comes out the tap about 320 parts per million. Hence why I've decided to go for some shell dwellers. I could grow my own Cheryl, but I really can't be bothered. The time and effort put into growing them, it would probably just work out cheaper to buy them. Yeah, get some more Apache. Yep, I'll look into that. Although they could have gone for a slightly less perverse name, the Morning Wood. But yeah, I shall look into some of that. Oh, nice one, Funk. Get those ponds running. What are you going to be putting in your ponds, Funk? Is it going to be natives, naturals? 4-inch green beans, 59 cents a can. Can lasts about a month. I reckon a can would probably last me a couple of days because I'm currently feeding about 300 of them. They're all getting on for an inch long now, so yeah, so they're just basically poop producing torpedoes. Green stuff goes in one end, brown stuff comes out the other end and fills up the filters. That's pretty much what happens. Yeah. I don't really want to know where my water comes from. I think all the rivers around here are basically farm runoff. So bear in mind you can chew the tap water around here. Yeah, that's. So what I'm going to start doing, I think, is I'm going to start waiting for there to be reduced veg at work, and then I'm just going to buy that and feed that to the fish. Which will be probably mostly things like broccoli and mushrooms. Evening, Rodders. How you doing? Hope those water changes are going well and you've not flooded the carpets or anything yet. I said we do have a good water company in East Anglia, simply because it's one of the driest parts of the country. Shop there's cyanide in water. Yeah, there's all sorts in there. You'd be surprised. Yeah, limestone basin. Yeah, pretty much the same here, Patrick. It's all limestone and or chalk and flint around here. So, hey, Smithy Shrimp, how are you today? I'm passable, vaguely human. Appear to be developing a grey stripe at the front of my hair as well as at the back now, so that's cool. I look like Heather Langenkamp did in the Friday the what Friday was it? What is it? No, it wasn't Friday. It was Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Hanging, but oh dear, hangover. Oh dear. See, what I like is when people come into the shop and buy a load of beer and they buy paracetamol and ibuprofen at the same time. It's like sensible. You know you're going to get a hangover, so you're buying the cure already. Best CDS for health, best 90 to 100, athletes 150. Still struggling to keep shrimp though. Yeah, I say I'm definitely not the person to ask Cheryl. As we said last week, I seem to be better at keeping shrimp in the tanks that aren't supposed to have shrimp in. The shrimp in the shrimp tank, they do okay. It's all the escapees that seem to do better. Yeah, I've been there, done that, Smithy. I've had many a hangover. It's just not good. That's the reason I stopped drinking, mainly cost and hangovers. Plus, I can still act the fool even if I'm completely sober. I don't need to be drunk to act like a fool. And it's great to be the one that can remember what everyone else got up to the previous night as well. No one else might know. You do. And you can remind them of it in future at their wedding or in front of their children or their parents. It's always fun the night before. Then today, I guarantee you've said to yourself, I'm not drinking again. Probably next Friday or Saturday, you'll probably do the same thing. Oh no, Cheryl, really not doing well. let's just hope that baby keeps trucking on then for you. So I'm no expert on anything fish related. I just know what works, what kind of works for me. And you know, I think by now pretty much all my shrimp are homebred, so they're all definitely used to my water parameters anyway. But yeah, I've not tried the crystals yet. That's on the list of things to do, but I'm pretty sure with my water it just wouldn't be good. See, that's something I've never done, Smithy. I've never turned off my heaters. Simply because when the water's hot, they don't turn on their own. To put shrimp in the light, told they were cherries, it turned out to be amaros. How the hell did they get amaros and cherries mixed up? They're completely different. Yeah, back to A and Purigen. Some Neos will survive them. I have thought about it, Smithy. If I didn't have frogs and comet goldfish in there, then yeah, I'd probably give it a go. But with frogs and comets in there, I don't think cherries would last very long. Yeah, so I just leave the heaters because if it's above the temperature that the heater would come on at, it won't come on. Now, so if the heater's set at 26, if it's 27 in the room, the water's going to be a couple of degrees warmer. The heat is just not going to come on. So, in theory, anyway, I have noticed mine didn't come on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but a couple of them kicked on yesterday, and they've all been on and off today as it's cooler. Yeah, well, as long as you're after them anyway. And Amano shrimp tend to be more expensive than cherries, especially around here. Same money as water retains heat. Yeah, it does, unfortunately. Which is why, even though I've had the doors and windows open all day, it's it's still a lot warmer in here than it is out there. Oh yeah, more play in the springs. Yeah, I could probably see that. The old bimetallic strips start getting a bit stiff. Yeah, so I mean, cherries around here are normally about 350, and Amano's normally about a fiver. So, hey, if you paid for however many cherries and you got that in Amano's instead, result. So yeah, it's just not something I've ever done. And the oldest things I've got in any of my tanks aren't quite 2 years old yet. So, Hey Nolly, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. Yeah, there we go with that. What else? What else have I been doing? I'll say I've not really been up to much other than work. The old Maximin room thermometers. Yeah, I've got one of those. Had one for donkey's years. Came me a bit of a surprise just how much the temperature can change. I would have thought the Ottos would have been fine with Amanos, but not entirely sure. I would have thought an Otto can outswim an Amano shrimp. So even if it tried to attack it, the Otto would get away. Also, some predatory shrimp being sold as Amanos, and they look very similar. That's not good. yeah, that could cause problems. Even if you go somewhere reputable, it's what they get in from the supplier. They're not going to get in a bag of 50 Amanos and check every single shrimp is an Amano shrimp. They're going to go, yeah, they're Amanos. Yeah, they're all alive in the tank. Not sure I've seen the vids and blogs. 2 Amanos ganging up. Yeah, that is kind of a surprise. They're not like those are like the most chill and non-aggressive of all fish. So yeah, may have just been for the best. Hello, how you doing, Pat? I was watching your presentation earlier. I'll rewatch it again because I was also talking to Mary at the same time. So I shall rewatch it and take in everything you were saying. Some very interesting talk on genetics there. Given the state of my guppy's genetics, I could probably do with learning a thing or two. I seem to be getting really good at breeding ones with weird colorations and strange shaped spines at the moment. Have we got any new weirdos in there? Oh, you're about to pop. Well, somehow I managed to breed a grey one. I'm not entirely sure how I've managed that. Oh, bless. Yeah, it makes you feel better about yourself, doesn't it, Pat? Hey, you nailed it, Pat. Don't worry about it. You've got the knowledge and you've got the passion. So, you know, and probably a better grasp of the English language than I have. So there you go. Okay, your auto carrot is playing silly beggars with you today, isn't it? But yeah. So, any idea how I've managed to get a grey guppy? It's sort of like the normal pale guppy colour front half, and then the back end and the fins are just grey. I did, Chewy. Oh, sorry, I've not got round to that yet. Weather, work, busy stuff. Yeah, I'll see what I can do for you. No, trust me, Pat. Your English is fine. You ain't got to worry about it. And it's a hell of a lot better than probably, I guess, probably everyone else in his other languages. Hi, Amano. Speak of the devil and they shall appear. Yeah, it's. I'm saying I was thinking of maybe putting some Amanos in there, but I might not now. Although yeah, the shrimp in there at the moment, the Amanos wouldn't stand a chance, I don't think. Undiscovered country visit UK in July. Yeah, I saw that come up on your premieres, Chewy. I shall be tuning in for that. It was the 7th, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what I said, Rod. It's better than most English people's English. Specifically, the ones that go and get them foreigners out of our country that are taking all our jobs. Yet those foreigners actually speak better English than the people saying that do. Yeah, we're all the same. whatever colour, accent, language, wherever we come from, we're all the same. I don't care. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. If you're a dick to me, I'll be a dick to you. It's that simple. It's got nothing to do with your gender, your race, your colour, whatever. Unless, of course, you're French. But then being English, we're allowed to hate the French. At one point, we were at war with them for over 100 years. Yeah, the 100 Years' War was a thing. The UK and France were at war for over a century. Thank you very much for watching, Pat. Yeah, so Shell Dweller Tank, that is on the way. Once I can find some multis, they will go in there. I've got a little bit of jiggling about to adjust a few things in there, but we're getting there anyway. Do unto others as you do what them do unto you. Exactly, gnarly. Just be a decent person, and then it's not a problem. Only becomes a problem if you're the problem. Really enjoyed my semester. Oh, geez, I apologise, Pat, for you having to deal with the Yorkshire accent. Oh my God. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of Brits who struggle with the understanding the Yorkshire accent. But yeah, just be glad it weren't the UEA you came to, University of East Anglia, back in New Bedding, and just carefully worded there, Cheryl. Oh, there's nothing wrong with Yorkshire. I can understand the accent. Come on. Why is it? It's always during a live stream my lighter runs out of gas, eh? We know the solution to that. Sit on it. Head of the Committee for Hobby Education to Boston Aquarium Society. Yeah, there's yes, as I say, a wet cat. Yes. It's the same with pretty much any of the local dialects of the UK, though. Once people had a skinful, their accent gets a lot stronger, and yeah, it can get fun. Oh yes, the how are you, love? Yep. Yes. I know the people who say it don't mean any offence. It's normally old men, and there's a few of them that come into the shop and they call me boy. I'm 44. Like, thanks, boy. Well, thanks, but you know, I'd rather you didn't call me boy. Especially when I haven't had a shave for a few days, and I'm stood there with a face full of white hair. Yeah, I know they don't mean it offensively. They're not being horrible. It's just. Ah, yeah, but Lancashire, that's where Eki Thump comes from. The world's most lethal martial art. which will only be a joke that anyone who's watched the goodies will understand. Marnish, you got it. Bit of Eki Thump. You can defeat a ninja with Eki Thump. Well, I mean, let's put it this way. I've been living in Norfolk and hide the accent. A little over 30 years now, pretty much. And there are still people from Norfolk I struggle to understand. Yeah, you're right, love. Yeah. And then you go a little bit further south of Derbyshire and everyone calls you Duck or Ducky. Yeah, it's just use the term. It's, yeah, I get called babe at work. Yeah, what? Why is this younger woman calling me babe? Yeah. Yeah, it takes some getting used to. As Rich, if he's still here, will know what I normally get called. And Aaron's probably got a pretty good clue as well as what I normally get called. It doesn't begin with B, it begins with C. Nice. It's only got 4 letters, Cheryl. And it rhymes with punt. Our roommate from London to train for that, yeah. Yeah, there seems to be a thing around, yeah, Chuck. Yeah, all right, Chuck. Yes, there seems to be a thing in this area. I don't know whether it's a lot of people who moved up from that direction, but the Essex accent is coming in with a lot of the young uns. And they obviously think it sounds cool, but it's like, doesn't. Especially when they slip and the Norfolk comes through. Hey up, Chuck. Yeah, so we do have a serious variety of accents in this country for the size of it. All over this place. Thankfully, mine doesn't appear to be too strong in most ways, or at least I can camouflage it most of the time if I want to. It's just when I get a bit tired or forget, and then either Broad Norfolk starts coming through. You're right, Burr. Or, yeah, the older Hertfordshire starts coming through. Yeah, Chewy, I was wondering that because I did look, I didn't see the online, I didn't see her last week either. I assume last week was because of Father's Day, probably doing something. I hope everything's okay with Dee and nothing going on there. Hope all is well. I might have to send her a message just to see. Because if nothing else, we miss Casey. We miss the Goldie fish, or the Blackie fish. Why is it we refer to a Blackmore as a goldfish? Sure, it should be called a blackfish. What do I know? What else has happened this week? What else has been going on in Sharpie land. Yeah, I mean, again, I think I said about it a few weeks ago. I can't remember exactly where it was. It wasn't too far away from here. I think it was somewhere between here, Southend, and Stortford. Um, there was a garage or petrol station that was actually called the Black Boy Services. He said 3 cents. Oh, I don't understand it. Yeah. 10 years of learning English flushed in the toilet. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It's probably the same with any country that's learning another language. Now, like for us English people learning French, we probably learn it with what would be the King's French, as in the Queen's English. So people from other countries learn English in that manner, in the correct manner, with the correct verbiage and nouns and everything all proper and perfect. And of course, you hear us lot talking it, and it's completely different. No, different words in the wrong places, dropping letters out. Something like my French pronunciation would probably sound really weird to a French person. My German would sound even worse. And that's about it as to what I can really speak, other than the smidgen of Latin. Pink Floyd band out the law. Industrial Floyd. I've got to try that. I've got to listen. I've got to listen to some Industrial Floyd. That sounds a good multicultural goldfish, please. Exactly. It's like, really? You know, it's there's racism, and then there's just what it is. Yeah. Guten Tag, mein Freund. Guten Abend, Priscilla. How are you, my lovely? How are you? Exactly. He dropped the accent. He went back home, and no one could understand him again. Yeah, world's crazy. Yeah. Let's just hope those of us of a certain age group are sensible enough to just keep things normal, keep an even keel, leave the far left and the far right and the far weird and the far out, and just keep roughly centralized, and we'll be okay as a species. Yeah, I mean, it was several, one until too long ago. I mean, when was the last, I'll say that, last time I actually went back down Stortford Way, I would have been 26, and my accent changed on the way down there. I went from speaking normal Norfolk type accent to suddenly speaking Hertfordshire again within a couple of hours. Imagine you're going to throw a Winston Churchill statue in a tent. Yeah, that's just wrong. When you look at it, all the statues of historical figures, for whatever reasons the statues are up, which are for good things, there's always a dark side to those people. And there were talks or noises being made about taking down the two statues of Nelson that are in Norfolk. And can't be doing that. No, yeah, I know Nelson did some really nasty stuff. He wasn't a particularly nice person. But we're celebrating the good, not the bad. Most people have two sides. Any replacement for Ugly Guppy? No, no replacements for Brokeback yet. Although some of her last lot of fry are still in there swimming around. So fingers crossed we might have more Brokebacks coming. Yeah, she did have one last lot of babies before she kicked the bucket, bless her. We learn from history. How can we learn from something if it's gone exactly? Yeah, moving along. That's what we do. We see it, we go, right, that was wrong. We won't do that again. We'll leave that there to remind us that that was wrong and not to do it again. Yeah. How's the Danio? Danio's still exactly the same. Zooming about, having fun, feeding away. Yeah. Fading. Yeah, it's just, yeah, Brokeback guppies. Yeah, guppies with S-shaped spines, no dorsal fin, and very, very little tail. They're called Brokebacks. They're the best guppies there are. You imagine if I tried introducing a strain of guppies and they've all got S-shaped spines and no fins. Well, yeah, they're ugly, but they're really good fish. I'd like to see someone. Oh yeah, you got to get a traffic cone on the head. It's not a proper statue unless it's had a traffic cone on it at some point. One of the ones where you're looking at it going, that was a bunch of drunk engineering students managed to get that up there. Yeah, the bulldog of the fish world. Might be ugly, but it'll take whatever a tank can throw at it. I can just keep reproducing. Yeah, I'll say they do well to push over the Angel of the North. That's for certain. But I'm trying to remember. Was that Gormley? Gormley did the Angel of the North. I'm trying to remember what it was supposed to stand for. I can't. I just know it looks cool. Pammy, how are you? Sorry I missed you the last couple of weeks, my dear, but working late and actually managing to sleep for a change, which is always a bonus. Yeah, been there, done that, Aaron. Yes, the blade that you took out of the knife, thought you threw in the bin, but it bounced out and you didn't see where it went, so you left it. Then you forgot about it, and then you find it the hard way. Is usually what happens there. It's just one of those things that happens pat in a model room. If you've got a man cave, as it were, that you build models in, it's generally just a dangerous place to be. That's why I have a warning sign on the door. The warning: man cave, do not enter it. Not safe. yeah, I mean, the times I'll go to grab something off the bench and accidentally pick up the knife by the sharp end, or stab my fingers on a micro drill, or yeah, it's a minor problem. Most of the times I don't even notice until there's like red on the model. I mean, where'd that come from? Like, oh, I'm bleeding. Oh well, super glue. Oh no, you're not really not having much luck lately, are you, Cheryl? Yeah, fingers crossed that Snotfish TB. Man cage is now 20 litre, 15 litre, and 32 lengths. So. Yeah. Man caves are a good thing to have. Unless obviously you're a female, then man caves are a good thing to have. Unless obviously you're a female, then it's a bit trickier to what you call it, because a lady cave just doesn't sound right. Yeah, so fingers crossed. I don't think sick guppy from a local fish shop. Yeah, this is the thing. I remember. No, we need our me time. We need time alone to de-stress and sort our brains out. Being around people all the time isn't generally good for us as men. That's why the majority of our hobbies are fairly solitary. You look at fishing, golf, various other things that men do as a hobby or as a pastime, modeling. Yeah, it's generally a fairly solitary practice. I think she only got the 50 gallon in it. I'll keep quiet, boy. I won't tell on you. Your secret's safe with me, Amano. He'll be also part of the European Cup with guppies from all over the world. Mad list of travelling will be over. I think they said something about from mid-July they're looking at lifting some of the travel bans or reopening the airlines. So might be things like that going ahead. One day, man cave might end up in the master pit. Yes, this is also one reason why I have all my fish tanks downstairs. Big solid lump of concrete rather than raft or bits of 2x4 on floorboards. I know they're not going to go anywhere down here. I mean, given how well the house is built, I could probably get away quite happily with a big tank upstairs, but I've got bathroom, spare bedroom, and main bedroom. I ain't putting one in the bathroom because it's not big enough. Can't put one in the spare bedroom because that's the man cave. And in my bedroom, nah, probably best not to. Not unless I have a serious clear out of a whole bunch of stuff. And I think I'm kind of getting to the point where tank maintenance is not becoming an issue, but it's not something, that's a quick, easy thing to do. It's not like one tank where it takes you half an hour to do the water change and job done. When I'm up to 12 tanks at the moment running, so it's taking a fair chunk of time to do the water changes and clean the filters and all the other little jobs that go along with it. So it's starting to get to the point where it's becoming a chore. So I don't really want to get many, if any, more tanks if I can help it. Unless I can find a way of getting some that basically look after themselves, like the shrimp tank does. I just get some algae pulled out every other week and a bit of a water change every other week, and duckweed and salvinia pulled off the surface, but that's about it. Bill's holding my peppermint. You can. There we go. So what you mean, Pat, is that Bill now probably has a couple of hundred guppies. Yeah. The chap of your caliber will soon have them shrimp multiplying at a vast rate of knots. And then you'll be going, where the hell am I going to put all these? A bit like me with bristle noses at the moment. Yeah, Chewy, yes, Dan was here. He was here not long ago. Yeah. It's all right, pal. I kind of figured if you disappeared from chat, you were getting a coffee. Coffee always required when you're a Pam. Yes. Awkward silence. Right. I'm going to nip upstairs momentarily, and I'll be back in a minute. Ooh. I'm back. Ooh, right, what I missed. 10 females and 2. Oh, you're going to have blooming hundreds of them in mine. Don't worry about it. Ooh. So, yes, back. And the one thing, modelling wise, that I have done, which I did finish a few weeks ago, but I've not shown, was the Pink Panther. Just to upset people, because certain people are very, very big fans of German tanks. So I decided to paint it pink and put Russian markings on it, just for the lols. So that was the last thing I finished anyway. And yeah, it did upset quite a few people. Although the main upset was caused by the fact that that gun will not fit in that turret. The breech is too big. It's pink. Thank you, Cheryl. Thanks, Mike. Yep. It's, I just felt like it because I don't like German tanks. I'm not entirely sure why I decided to build one. I think it's just because I had it. I thought, you know what, I can get more fun out of it by annoying people with it than I can with doing it properly. Engage railway. Oh yeah, I've been there, done that, Amana. Yes, engage into a coffee table. I've done that for people in the past. Yes. And the hardest part is hiding the wires. They wanted it all in the glass top coffee table. They didn't want to be able to see any of the wires or the controller or anything. So yeah, having to hide the wires and then the controller somewhere that it wasn't visible but still easily accessible. Yeah, that was interesting. I ended up actually just putting a false bottom in it. So they lost about quarter of an inch, third of an inch of the actual depth of the top of the coffee table. I basically put the false bottom in it, so all the wires and everything was running underneath, so nothing was visible. And yeah, it was kind of fun to do, but yeah, wouldn't appeal to me. It's something that I would get very bored of very quickly. Most of my models have a fairly short shelf life. They end up in the bin fairly rapidly. World War II transport. Yeah, this was just a generic sort of a little train going through the countryside with a little station. It wasn't anything special or spectacular. There's a lot of pre-made materials and flocking and dead moss. A lot of PVA glue and hairspray, as I remember as well. I wouldn't want to be around that if it caught fire. Let's put it that way. And slide and draw out of the switchovers. Yeah, that works well. Yeah, how did I ended up basically stripping all the guts out of the controller, chucking all the box about it away, and cutting a hole in one of the legs. Basically, drilling one of the legs out and actually mounting the controller into the leg of the coffee table. It was, yeah, did it once, never doing it again. But that's the same with anything like that, though. If you, it's the commission build. Like, people don't seem to realise how much it costs in time, effort, skill, all that kind of stuff, and they just aren't willing to pay for what it would cost to do it. Yes, I did have a quick listen earlier this week. Chewy, rather impressive. Musically, not necessarily my kind of thing at the moment, anyway. But music tastes change over time. Now, what I'm listening to lately, I might not be listening to in a month. It's the way of how music is. You listen to music that suits your mood. This is rapidly turning into Sharpie's tricks on how to get a lighter to carry on working when it's run out of gas, isn't it? And the gardening is here, or 8 blacktail mountain watermelon. A bit of a gardener, not eating watermelon. I've tried some once, probably about 30 years ago, and didn't like it, so I've not had watermelon since. Not even a fan of watermelon. Not even a fan of watermelon flavoured sweets. I'm giving it the old rub between the fingers. Warm it up, get the gas to expand, and then that's dead. Let's find another lighter. Right. Fresh out of the packet. Is it going to work, or is it going to take my eyebrows off? Perfect. Which means I'm going to have to take the top off and turn the flame up. Yeah, I learned a long time ago, best way to buy lighters is a pack of 5. And when you get down to the last 2, buy another pack. You can guarantee one of those 2 isn't going to work. At least. And they never die at the right time. They always die at the wrong time. And you don't want to be that guy sat there with one lighter that's got gas but no flint, and one that's got flint but no gas, going click, 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 click. Grow tendon. Better with time. In your opinion, what's the best way to treat a better with cloudy eye? It's not something I've had to treat before. I mean, I would probably start out with a salt bath, just as a matter of course, because that seems to help with everything. And then I would ask someone like Amber at Big City Betters, who you'd be able to catch probably tonight with Joseph on JH Aquatics live stream. Because what Amber don't know about betters isn't worth knowing, so I would just ask her. Truth be told, that's what I would do. I'll say it's not something I've ever had to. Say JH Aquatics, or I think she's on Instagram as Big City Betters, so you can. So yeah, the general things I would do: a bit of salt bath, make sure there's plenty of tannins in the water. Could tap a leaf or something, and go from there. I say those are the salt dip, and then I say plenty of tannins in the water. Make sure the water's good and clean. Give it good water change, and then ask Amber. It's pretty much my way of doing it. So it's, yes, the catappa will turn the water yellowy or orangey, look a bit like tea, but it's full of all sorts of good stuff that is really good for fish. There is science behind it, but it's good. Generally, the clearer the water is, it seems the less good it is for fish. Which I say, if you look in the wild, most ponds and lakes are fairly munky and cloudy and full of gunk. Playing using Malefics. Yes, one of those things, I think with things like betters and anabantoids in particularly, do kind of have to be careful because of the labyrinth organ. It's like using the API, what is it they call it? The water treatment thing with the aloe vera in it. Isn't good for them. It's stress coat. Stress coat. I think that's the one. Which, as I say, I told the guys in my local Pets at Home, and they're now no longer putting stress coat in with anabantoid fish when they sell them. As Amber said, there has been a study, quoting Amber again, there's been a study lately that shows that I think it's the aloe vera, does get into and coats the labyrinth organ, so causes long-term damage. I mean, sure, if you're just using it once, it's probably fine, but let's not take the risk if you don't have to. But Malefics, hang on, I've got a bottle down here somewhere. Where's me Malefics gone? La 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 la. Malefics, what's in it? It's basically tea tree oil, isn't it? Cajeput oil. Melaleuca. Let's see if in the peel off label it actually says what's in it. It might be helpful. Use with Pinafix synergistically treat the blah 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 blah. Will not harm the biological filter. We recommend turning off the protein skimmers and UV sterilizers when treating. Harmless foaming may occur. Yeah, that might be the problem. Is if it's foaming on the water, that could be the issue that some betters might have with it. Being as they're wanting to get to the surface to breathe, if you've got a whole load of bubbles on the surface, they might find it tricky. Oh yeah, salt in low doses doesn't do anything to hurt anything. But antibiotics getting into the environment, yeah, they can wreak havoc. Yeah. So most of these kind of things, it seems to me anyway, are generally, I'm not saying you keep your fish in a dirty tank, or that you're not doing the correct maintenance or anything like that. But most of these things can come down to there being something slightly off with the water. If you work somewhere that's a bit manky, you're more likely to get ill. If your house is dirty, you're more likely to get sick. It's one of them things. I'm not accusing you of not doing your husbandry or taking care of your fish, but water changes seem to sort a heck of a lot of problems out. Now, what insect they use to measure salt acceptance in the USA? Oh, God. It's going to be something random, isn't it? I can't remember. Can't remember or don't know. The fact is not there. Although slightly randomly, in a 1 kilo bag of flour, they're allowed up to, is it 500 milligrams? Yeah, it's 500 milligrams of insect parts. Yeah. Yeah, I've not used antibiotics either, unless you count Melafix and Pemafix, which are both naturally occurring antibiotic kind of things. So, or catappa leaves. I mean, heck, I managed to beat columnaris in there with Melafix and Pemafix and salt. So, for those who say they don't work, they do. And it might not be instant, it might take a while, and you might still lose a few more fish as it's doing its job, but yeah, it's been disease free in there ever since. Mayfly. June bug. December roach. It's one of them. Not the December roach, just made that one up. Before someone starts hunting for it. Yeah, disease solved with some benefit. So yeah, they're natural occurring things that are probably in the water in most systems anyway, naturally. So tea tree oil and that kind of thing, they're not going to harm anything. It's just mild, low dosage. So you're not going to kill anything with it, but it's going to help. It's just going to help your fish fight whatever the problem is, rather than fix the problem by killing it. It's like if you catch a cold and you just take some paracetamol to reduce the symptoms and just rest up for a few days, you'll get over it. Or if there's the correct antiviral, you could take that and be out over it within 24 hours. But finding correct antiviral, considering how many varieties of the common cold there are, is virtually impossible. So you just stick with it. Let's say I try and keep a close eye on my fish to see if anything's showing any signs of any sort of illness. Touch wood. I've been relatively okay lately. It's just been the odd age or guessing probably poor genetics in the case of like the platies and the guppies that die. But, yeah. Live bearers tend not to live very long, in my experience. They are, yeah, it could be salt deficiencies. But, I mean, they are salts, but mineral salts rather than sodium chloride. So it'd be different, it'd be magnesium chloride and all that kind of different shenanigans. But yeah, as I say, it could just be something we don't measure in the water that there's a deficiency of. Yeah. It might be something that every so often is worth dunking a bit in the tank, some GH and KH solution or salts. Hola, Joseph. We're just trying to figure out how to solve a dose of cloudy eye in a better. So we'll get there. We'll get it figured out. Don't worry, it's not Engelbert. He's fine. He's nuts, but he's fine. It's just great having a fish that will do chase the finger around a tank with you, rather than just flare at you and hide up in the corner. His favourite trick is doing loop-the-loops. Water has hardly any GH. My core seems to suspect slight body fungus. Could be, Cheryl. I mean, maybe trying to pull the TDS up a bit with some extra salts, because they're all things that creatures need. So yeah, might be onto something there, Cheryl. It could be a deficiency in something, you know, like if we don't have the right vitamins or minerals, then we get ill. So with your very soft water, it might not have, and as you were saying earlier, we need a higher TDS to be healthy and efficient. So you could well be onto something there, Cheryl. It's got the semblance of making sense to me anyway. I'm sure Chewy might know a bit more about it, or have the research available to look into it, but I think you might have something there where if you've taken all of the salts out of the water, or the water doesn't have the salts in it, and all the various naturally occurring chemicals and compounds, it could be causing problems. Good thinking. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to think on that a bit longer. Give me something to do next week when I'm at work. When I'm filling shelves with Stella Artois and Budweiser again. The amount of booze some people drink is just unreal. Using airstone with boiled water, will that make chlorine go out of the water faster than the 4-day period? Yeah, the airstone will keep the water moving, so you'll have the gas exchange, so it should be quicker. I mean, as I say, as a fish keeper, it's not something I'll worry about with the chlorine. I just add dechlorinator to the water. Amber, my lovely, yes, big Wookie hugs back to the little Ewok. Yeah, we're doing well. Zach does have an injury at the moment. He's donked his head quite badly on something, so he needs lots of loves and hugs. So I shall forward on some Ewok hugs and fusses for little Zach. He's not feeling himself at the moment. He's a bit quiet and probably concussed, I think, but he will be fine. And this camera's doing that weird thing where I've put my hands forward, it's focused on my hands, and now it's not focusing on anything else. So I shall move out of the way, let the camera refocus. Come on, camera, focus. Are you there? Has it done it? Yeah, a bit better. Yeah, room temp with an air bubble after 24 hours to get rid of the chlorine. Yeah, that should do the trick. And actually, Amber, while you were here, Better with Time was asking how we would go about treating cloudy eye in a better. We've gone for the salt and catappa leaves so far. I was wondering, maybe you had the exact answer. for your plants and getting an ant farm going. Yeah, don't tell your mum you got an ant farm. That's just not going to work out well, short or long term. Okay, I want 75-gallon scope, sugar, black substrate, and tan, natural color, sand and gravel. Black looks cool. I mean, it all depends what you're going to put in there as to whether the fish or shrimp or whatever it is will be better with a darker background or a lighter background. And this camera is still doing that not focusing thing, so we'll cover it up. Nah, it's still playing. Oh, well, I've only got 5 minutes to go. Sure, you can cope with me being blurry for a few minutes. Nobody's here to look at me anyway. Got a gnarly stump. I'll say if you're putting big chunks of wood and stuff in there, I'll probably go with a more natural colour. But then all depends. Personally, I would go with a planted substrate, something that's darker. Better with Times Better has got cloudy eye amber, and we were trying to figure out the best way to treat. That's what was going on. And I did say to ask you, as you are the font of knowledge when it comes to betters, that as you turned up, we can ask you now. Waiting for the $50 shirtless donation. Trust me, no one wants to see me shirtless. You're just all lucky that I actually checked the video before I uploaded it on Friday, because I was stood there filming this tank here, and it was only because I watched it back I spotted the fact that in the glare and the reflection of this tank, you could just see me stood there in my boxers. I thought, yeah, that's not good. We're going to reshoot that one. It's kind of like cross between Jabba the Hutt and a Wookiee. Lots of stacks with black substrates. Yeah, so go with what you want. That's equally safe green tannin thingy. There we go. So we weren't too far off then, Amber. Fair enough. Yeah, one tablespoon to 5 grams. As long as there's no feet in the videos, I'm all good. Ha! I got my slippers on. You don't want to see my feet anyway. Well, my feet are tiny, so it's not an issue. And the pulsing and the changing in light, as clouds blowing past outside. Nobody wants to see my hooves anyway. Small hobbit type hooves. Yeah, AEF, not AEC. Yeah, AEC is how you boil a fish. Yeah, as Shell said, it depends on the fish and the colours. And if you've got brightly coloured fish, then a darker substrate will show the colours up better. And on a lighter substrate, they will decolour, as it were. The colours will be less vibrant. As Pat was saying earlier in his presentation, if he's still here, there was an explanation about how that actually works, which was quite interesting. All to do with melanins and chromatophores. Basically, on a darker background, fish go brighter and more colourful. On a lighter background, they lose colour, as they just try to camouflage themselves in as best they can. Would adding salt to the aquarium have ill effects on the live plants? All depends on the plants, I'm afraid. If you've got a little quarantine tank, you could pop your fishy in. That might be the best bet. Then you can leave it in the salt water, as it were, without risking killing your plants. And also, you know, that water is completely clean. Hasn't got anything in it. Things like Java ferns and Anubias, you know, the harder plants will probably be okay for a little while. Anything like crits or vowels will probably just melt back almost instantly that there's any salt in there whatsoever. That's what I would have thought anyway. Basically anything fast growing or soft is going to die. Then I may well be proven wrong, because Valsinaria goes well in cichlid tanks or Tanganyikan type of biotopes. Despite the fact that one's melting back like a good one at the moment. Rubber plants and stuff that look like what John has, but kept getting out of control. Yeah, that's my tanks pretty much all get. This one had a big trim out this week, kind of accidentally, as I was trying to catch a butterfly cichlid. I'll say don't need to worry about a tank about every time, just something that hold water, a bucket, a storage tub, anything like that. I mean, I use some of the, let's show you. It might even sort out the camera focus if I do this. I mean, literally, I've got one of them down there. And there's about 150 plecos in there. It cost me about a £5. So, you know, that's a 10 gallon as well, or 40 litre. There we go, we have focus back. So just something like one of them, they run fine. And there we go, we're back in focus, which is the last thing anyone wanted to see, me in high def. Yeah, I'll say it's literally plastic storage tote with a heater, and that was got 3 filters in it, but you know, large bio load in there. That many baby plex. But yeah. Java fern, Anubias, quick windetti, salt tolerant, yeah. So I will. Where's Chewy? Chewy's disappeared. I think Chewy might have gone to watch Father Fish, because Father Fish has just come online. So that's probably where the Chewmeister is. And as Father Fish is on, and I'm trying to be nice to people and not steal their audience, as it were, I think we are pretty much got solutions to problems. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say thank you very much, everyone, for turning up and watching, putting up my waffling and out of focusness and smoking and disappearing for a wee and randomness. I actually managed to mainly keep it about fish this week as well, which is strange for one of my streams. All right. Thanks very much. Have a great week. Peace out. Stay safe. Rock on. Bye-bye. Love you.